To our webinar on how virtual sampling transforms supply chains of the world's fashion industry. So today's webinar is organized by Linctex Digital Technology and co-organized by Korean Industry Training Authority. And as a friendly reminder, to avoid any disturbance on our guest speakers' presentation, please mute your microphone and turn off the video camera while joining this meeting. So if you would like to ask questions during the Q&A session, please submit your question in the chat box. So to begin, may I now invite the Program Director of Korean Industry Training Authority, Dr. Betty Lee, to deliver the welcome speech. Dr. Lee, please.
Okay, hello everyone. So welcome to this webinar. So since last year, we know that life can go on, even when the entire country is in physical lockdown. Hopefully, when we turn online, the virus does not follow us to the cyber world. We increasingly feel that digital technology has become part of our life. The virus has brought even closer. We may not have thought of holding this webinar instead of the physical seminar that we used to have, meeting our friends, networking with professionals, and exchanging ideas. Digital technology helps improve processes in our industry. Virtual sampling, for example, plays an important role in transforming the fashion supply chain. By using 3D CAD, we are now able to create virtual samples, modify designs, and communicate comments with different parties in different parts of the world within a short period of time and with minimal investment in resources. We have established the Digital Fashion Lab here at CITA 3 years ago in the belief that digital technology will bring us a better future, and we are keen to promote its application to the industry. We have installed the latest 3D software and hardware, which are essential for digitizing key processes. We have been offering many courses and seminars to the industry so that those working in the field are aware of the available technologies, and most importantly, get trained to use those technologies for their purposes like virtual sampling. Over the years, we have offered almost 90 3D CAD classes to over 1,400 people. I think this is significant in raising the awareness as well as a skill set, which is necessary for the application of 3D CAD in our industry. So in this webinar, I hope that you will learn the latest information of digital technology, virtual sampling, and its application, so that you can make a better decision as how to move forward. So CITA is here to support your move. Thank you.
Hello, you can see my screen? Okay, great. Thank you for inviting me to join this very exciting webinar. Can you hear me? Yes. So today's the webinar is how virtual sampling transformed the supply chain of the world of fashion industry. Okay, the topic is PolyU-ITC. I was told that it's around 100, more than 100, sign up. It's really excited for me and also honor for me to share this through this opportunity to share. Okay, the topic for PolyU-ITC in the global fashion industry. I think possibly most of you know ITC and know PolyU, and what today's topic actually I hope to briefly talk about who we are, what actually ITC have been doing to support the virtual sampling, the digital transformation brought by the virtual sampling. And as you can see, the topic of the picture I select for this particular talk is cosmopolitan, just like Hong Kong. Hong Kong has been a small village, but it plays a very important role in the fashion industry. And I hope, for the virtual sampling, the industry face a lot of challenge, but we hope that we join hand in hand with the industry that we can, better perform and maintain our, competitiveness. And hope Hong Kong still play a really important role in the fashion as a fashion hub. And also the slide, actually it says, you know, it's a blockchain technology, because it's one of my research. I have a new project to use of blockchain technology for the small SME, but I won't spend too much time on this. If in the future we can have a chance, I can share a bit more. So for today's topic, actually, I mentioned, okay, ITC PolyU. We are talking about, okay, who we are, what actually we are doing, support the virtual, you know, sampling digital transformation. ITC, one of the department in PolyU is, you know, we are tertiary education provider. We, the industry face a lot of challenge for the, you know, digital, what we call digitization. We need to support the industry because they need people, they are good at 3D software to help them in the virtual sampling. So this is the new tagline of the ITC. We are hoping to pioneer the fashion and textile education and research. ITC have been here for over, you know, 60 years. It's a very big department in PolyU. We are quite special in terms of our specific standing, because I work with so many different fashion schools around the world. And I can see ITC quite unique because we integrate technology, business, and design together. And we offer program integrating these three areas. You can see ITC in before we are good at the, you know, textile technology, because you can look at the, if looking at the technology ranking in terms of citation, in terms of, you know, number of publication, our colleague is well known in the technology area. They are very productive. And also ITC have been worked closely with the industry to provide new idea, new solution, develop new system, and then we are quite often join different international innovation competition like in Geneva. So it's quite some of this. In terms of design, actually ITC, you know, in the QS ranking, PolyU ranked top 15 around the world. So ITC have been, you know, hosting our fashion show every year. And also you can see ITC is well known for their technology, particular wearable technology. And also we are quite innovative in terms of different area of research. Like recently we established the Artificial Intelligence in Design Lab together with the Royal College of Art. So we also have we also set up research institute in smart fiber and wearable. So this would be some background information about ITC. So this, you can see ITC is a quite big department. We have offer all range of program from degree level up or above to master level. So this total number of undergraduate students is close to 900. We also have two or three top master degree, and also we train up MPhil student, PhD student, and postdoc student. In terms of academics staff, we have more than 50. So this is the range of the program ITC have been offering to support the industry. We have a big BA program. We have the 5 specialism covering design, and we also have specialism in knitwear and intimate apparel, and also technology is a really big area because ITC have been, you know, deliver technology subject over the past more than 60 years. And also we are supporting the industry because of in the retail and marketing. This year, actually, ITC have been launching a new program in digital fashion. This is the key focus of today's. And we are, you know, having introduced this new program because we see how the fashion industry, they operate, how much they have been changed in terms of their how the business runs. So we decide and launch this new program that we can support the industry better, to have to train up what we call digital savior graduate, can join hand in hand with like technical technology solution provider and also our industry to better to maintain our competitiveness. In terms of our master program, we have a design program. We also have MA program in focusing in the business area like global fashion supply chain. So we are also recruiting students this year. And as I mentioned, we also have research degree because we have a strong team in research. So we also have research degree in Master of Philosophy, Doctor of Philosophy, or even postdoc training. So this will be some background about ITC. So here is the, what I want to introduce, because we have more than, around 100 company, you are facing different kind of challenge. So this new program, I want to introduce you. We are always welcome to work with the industry to offer, different, and let us know what kind of talent you want, and then we can integrate into our program. Let me show a short video.
According to the World Skills Organization, the 3 essential skills required for a career in fashion are: first, being creative; second, the ability of using computers or digital technology; third, the ability of using tools. Using computers or digital technology is now an essential skill for people working in the fashion industry. This is exactly the reason why ITC has launched a new undergraduate program in digital fashion.
Bachelor of Science Honors in Digital Fashion is a new 2-year top-up degree program. Holders of an associate degree or a higher diploma in engineering, information technology, digital media, advertising, marketing, fashion, etc. are welcome to apply. In this program, students will learn about advanced 3D design software for digital creation. Meanwhile, social commerce is another key focus of our program. Students are required to study the knowledge in interactive media and data analytics, so they can make use of data analytics with AI to showcase and promote the brand and its collection creatively across social media, as well as to increase customer engagement and loyalty. To that end, students will also be trained with various digital skills, such as photography, filming, editing, and animation.
Fashion is what's going to allow companies to still be able to produce fast fashion in a sustainable, responsible way.
Our program has 2 features. Firstly, it emphasizes on innovation. The program provides great flexibility through core subjects and a wide range of elective subjects. Digital technologies will also make the fashion industry more innovative, create new processes, and open up new business models. The second feature of the program is problem or project-based learning. There are 12 credit capstone projects in the program. Through collaborating with existing corporations, students will integrate the knowledge and the skills learned into their final year capstone projects.
Opportunities won't just be here out of a sudden. It's all because of you have to grab the chances that you can see in front of you, and just don't be shy to reach out.
Our graduates will be able to pursue a variety of careers. Our graduates equipped with strong digital skills will become very competitive in labor market. It is because fashion industry is large in scale. 3D technologies is essential for every brand and every product line to develop new products in every season. Moreover, our graduates can think innovatively. They can work in different industries and government sectors, or even startups and tech companies. Join us and transform the fashion world with new and creative ideas and presentations.
So why we have the the new program? Because we can everyone tells how the fashion industry have been affected by the digital technology. The introduction about Dr. Lee mentioned about the COVID-19 is exaggerate this the whole process. Over the many years, when we talk to different companies, we can see the challenge they are facing, the digitization. But when people talk about digitization, actually different companies have different interpretation. So when we thinking about to develop a new program, we focus our, we want to train up our students that because when we talk about this idea, when I discussed with different fashion school, they mainly propose the program in master level because possibly easier. But I think the industry need people, they are strong in digital skill to support their key, the core operation as well. And also we, digital virtual sampling is one area. The other area, when we call digital fashion, we also want to, train up our students to understand the market, understand our new generation of consumer, because the way we engage consumer are completely different. So this is the, and this is why we want to train up our students actually focus in two areas. We want to use the cutting edge technology, focusing on actually the fashion product development, as well as use the data analytics, marketing, media communication to help every brand, every company to engage, to promote, to engage new generation consumer and to promote their product. So this would be the key area. So it's a 2-year top-up degree. Actually, we already recruiting students. So students with a variety of background, like in science, engineering background, they are in communication, they are in marketing background, as well as they are in fashion. They are welcome to join. And the key train up actually is 2-year top-up. Actually, we categorize our program in a 3I, because we are training students all this 3D software skill like the cloth, browseware, Optitex. So it's I fashion. It's helping suppose the graduate can support different brand for product development. And other key area is what we call iMedia, because not only we can speed up the product development process, we also need the student to help the brand to promote through the social media. And so this is why we use the student need to learn different media skill, filming, editing, and also data analytics, make use of, how you spend your marketing budget to engage. But of course, our students need to be creative in mind, because they can, come across through different elective subject, they will come across with the whole fashion industry, the operation. They can, through their understanding of, new technology, they can create new business model, new idea, new processes. So this would be the key area. And others, why I want to introduce the program, because we hope to join hand in hand with the industry. So if, for example, your company want to create a marketing campaign, we can have a setup project, or you want the student to help you to develop your new collection in digital sample, and we can also. So another feature of our program would be we are very much problem-based and project-based through different subjects, and also our 2 capstone project. We want to work with our, the industry. So just some highlight. For example, our subject are, clustered in 3 areas. One we call iConnect. iConnect, for example, like we have an overview of product ideation, the whole product, development process. Students will also need to be familiar with different technology like UX design and app design, and also entrepreneurship training and so forth. And the other area is an iMedia. So you can see the student will need to learn photography and the presentation, social media, data analytics, and video production, interactive presentation. The other area is the use of all the 3D software. This is also white style 3D, and will come across because every brand, every company, they make use of the 3D technology in their product development. So students will be trained up with all those state-of-the-art technology, including the key cloud, browse, Optitext, and also the browseware. And you can see we group our students, we have different core subject and elective combination to fit different students from different background. And we also have a child credit capstone project. The final year, we have one capstone project focusing on marketing campaign, the other one including the digital product creation and also including how to promote the product. So it's in total 2 capstone projects in our program. So when we decide the program, we also, want our students to maximize their return in their study in PolyU for 2 years. So when we plan the program, we actually plan it carefully to facilitate students to join to, eye-opening experience for student exchange, and also can join the internship for the summer training. So company, if you want to offer internship for our graduate, you're also welcome to contact us. So our students, once they graduate, actually, they are strong in digital skill to help the company for promote. That means so you can, fit your, if you want our graduate to help you to manage the marketing, digital promotion is one area. And also another area is the product development using virtual, the 3D software to help the product development process. Okay, so a little bit, background about my own research. So my research area is mainly in the computer-aided design. So actually, I develop mobile app. I can make use taking 2 pictures to get the body measurement. This can be using the sizing, and then actually we have a company help the uniform company to automatically group size, and then to facilitate their production. And also we have pattern. Once you input your measurement, we can generate the pattern. And other area, once we have digital idea that we can, play around, we can turn different design into your final pattern. So this is something about my own research. If you are interested, you can.
Digital fashion 回應緊行業同埋新一代消費者嘅要求，數碼科技影響緊每一個人。
3D 嘅 fashion 咧喺呢個世界唔係淨止一個 trend 咯，其實佢真係一個未來嚟嘅。
其實呢一行嘅機會都好多，即係例如編輯啦、記者啦、設計師、造型師。
Okay, I think that's all. The whole message I want to, because ITC is, launching a new program to support the industry. We welcome all kinds of collaboration with the industry to support you to, to better perform in this. We provide you, we train up talent to support your business operation. If you want to work with us to offer student internship, or you want to, offer student project, you're more than welcome to contact me. Okay, I think that's all for my part of presentation.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Mok. So let us now invite our first guest speaker today, Mr. Frederik Smed, EU Sales Manager of Linctex Digital Technology Company Limited, to present virtual sampling transforms to supply chains. Mr. Smed, please.
Thank you very much. I hope everyone can hear me and see my screen now. Otherwise, you can speak anyway. No, thank you very much. I'm really excited to see that we have around 100 people joining in today, because I find that this topic is actually one of the key elements for success within the supply chain. We have, when we work with brands, we can see that there is a lot of challenges as well in starting with 3D. And I really see that this is the way where suppliers can also come in handy, and together we can change the industry. Now, I just prepared a small agenda for today, and I'll start off just by making a small introduction of myself and Linctex, the company I'm working for. Then I will touch base on the current market situation. Oh, sorry. I'll touch base on the current market situation and also the point about why is it that we need virtual sampling. Yeah, but let's go ahead and get started. First of all, a short introduction of myself and the reason why I'm here. My name is Frederik, and I'm working for Style 3D. I'm from Denmark, and I'm also currently sitting here in Copenhagen. I started my journey in the fashion industry for Jack & Jones, a Danish retailer, which is quite big on a global perspective. They have around 1,000 stores. And then I moved up and became part of our global sourcing team for Bestseller, which is also, Bestseller is the brand for, or Bestseller is the organization who has Jack & Jones. And in this job, I work with responsibility for 3D implementation in the supply chain. And I was also responsible for our digital asset management, about how we should build our libraries and how we should convert all our existing materials into 3D. So a little bit about me. And I've joined Linctex, which is a Chinese company. And they provide a software program called Style 3D, which is kind of a new program in the market. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this later on as well. Linctex was established in 2015 in Zhejiang, and currently we have around 180 employees. We count across a few countries, we count 300 clients in total and approximately 1,000 users for the whole platform. We have offices in Hangzhou, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Copenhagen, as well as we are developing also in Amsterdam. But in order to understand why it is we need virtual sampling and why we should try to convert the fashion industry, I believe it's important as well to understand where is it that we are coming from and how is the current market situation. Because I find that 3D can a lot of the times be considered as, yes, it's nice to have and it's nice to see. You can do a lot of nice visualizations and animations and so. But should we actually start with 3D just because that it looks nice and it looks a bit fancy? I don't think so. And that's why I also just want to touch in on the current market situation. So status right now, labor costs and material prices are increasing globally. And then this is not a new thing. We've seen this throughout the past 30, 40 years. It makes it difficult for production, and it makes it outsourcing more and more challenging as well, because we can't continue just to find cheap labor costs all around. Asia to try to catch up with the market demands. We also see that the industry is becoming more demanding when it comes to speed. And we have identified that the slowest step in the supply chain is actually the development phase. The development phase takes around 2 to 4 months, depending on how big the collections are, of course, and also how much time and effort you spend. But compared to the production, it actually takes more or less the same time. So this is also where we need to find better solutions in order to be faster. Third point is that when we see the number of styles globally, also from more and more key accounts, we can see a very, very big rise in how many styles that has to be produced. This, of course, also turns into smaller order quantities, and it gives a huge and unhealthy amount of physical samples that is needed to service the fashion industry. And last but not least, probably the most important point is that we also have a much bigger focus on the environmental impact and having a transparency in the supply chain. All of these things we weren't discussing 10, 20 years ago, but now it's the biggest topic we see in the industry. I added this model to my presentation also just to showcase how the costs are actually increasing over the different areas. I think you can see as well here, if we start from 2012 all the way to 2020, we can see that material prices is actually going down compared to the full product. I'll come back to this in a moment. But overall, we have an increase of 29% in cost of a basic product from 2012 to 2020. As I said, material price is actually decreasing, but I think there is a specific reason for that, which I will come to afterwards. If we look at labor cost, it's gone from 26% up to 39% in total, which is an increase of 13% just in 8 years. In regards to transport, it's also increased a bit, but not as significantly as the labor costs. For customs, we can also see that this is actually going down in order to help a bit, but it's still not enough to cover the entire increase that we have from the labor cost. Now, if we just touch base on the material cost, now it's more a question of why the prices is actually going down. And I find that this is because we're using cheaper qualities, cheaper products in order to comply with the market demand. Here we have a model where we showcase also from the different countries how our labor cost is actually increasing. From 2004 up to 2020, you can see a huge increase from all the preferred sourcing countries like Bangladesh, China, Vietnam, India, Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar. These are the big countries for sourcing in Asia. And overall, this gives a pretty good picture that the world is actually becoming more globalized, and the labor costs are actually rising in all the development countries. And I want to underline also that I don't see this as being a bad thing, because we in our perspective, we believe that we should have the same labor costs in order to support also a globalization and as well a healthy development of these third world countries. But just to conclude here as well, cheap labor is a rare commodity, and it's difficult to find new countries for sourcing garments in order to comply with the market situation. I know there's also a lot of focus on Africa as well, but overall, I think we will see the same tendency once we start or when the more brands start sourcing from Africa. And this is a slide just to show the biggest challenge as well, because one thing is that the prices are increasing, and so this would be okay if the market was also keeping up with the inflation. But when we see this model going from 2006 to 2020 as well, we have an overview of how the prices are increasing or decreasing across the different industries. If we start by looking at all items, this is a little bit unclear, but you can actually see that in general, all the different industries in the world are rising for the retail prices. We have the transportation, which is going a little bit up and down. We can see food and beverage is definitely increasing significantly. And then for the education and communication, we also see a slight increase. But what's really interesting to look at is the apparel industry. Here we can see that this has actually gone down since 2016 up to 2020. And just to show an example, I think that you would also see when you go out to buy garments in the shops, there's actually the prices are more or less the same as they were 15 years ago. And just with the last information we touched base upon, it's very difficult to understand how can the suppliers and the brands keep up with sourcing products when we can see that all the different aspects of a product price is actually increasing. Now, I think that what we see as well, and what I also felt like over the last 10 years, is that in order to keep up, we have to cut costs somehow. And the easiest solution for this is just to reduce inequalities of the product. That's also why we see that many of our garments are maybe not lasting as long as they used to 15 years ago. We started to use cheaper qualities. When we did shirts in the beginning, we were maybe doing a 40x2 quality, and now it's down to 20x2. And this is the small buttons you can adjust with when doing the production, using a little bit shorter fibers, using a little bit lower quality. But all in all, the entire retail demand of prices is putting so much pressure on the industry. And when the prices are continuing to increasing for materials, for labor, we have to think about something else in order to keep up. I just brought this as well to give an idea about how a product price is actually structured, where we can see that we have, of course, a part of there is 25% materials, we have 39% labor cost, there's a transportation cost, and we have, of course, the customs. Then we have an internal markup for a brand, and we have an external markup for the shops as well. And all together with the cost from the suppliers, this is actually what a product price consists of. Now, when these parts are increasing, of course, the easy question would just be to lower the internal and external margins as well. But with the situation with Corona, we also know that all the shops are actually struggling quite a lot these days. And we still need to secure a certain turnover in order as well to be competitive and survive in the market. So we need to look at this in a different perspective. We need to look at where we can cut away some of the costs in order to make sure that the prices we have are still competitive. For that, we believe that digitalization is the biggest enabler for changing the supply chain performance. It's not just a question about prices and how to actually be reach the right level for competitiveness, but it's also in regards to lead times, because we also see that all around the world, we are in need of much more speed in the fashion industry. I'll come back to this in a moment, but just to show also that what we see here this is some exercise McKinsey did back in 2017, but we see that we can actually save quite a lot of cost, 2.5%, just by digitalizing some of the development processes. You also have a increase of the accuracy when it comes to improvements of on time and in full performance. It's noted that McKinsey discovered that we could actually be 5% more accurate in delivering products when working with digitalization, which also allows us to be 10% more accurate when doing demand planning. And this is the slide for collection flows, where we also look at the industry as a total going back to 1980s, where it was common just to do 2 collections a year, autumn winter collection and a spring summer collection, and this was it. People were satisfied back then. But then we slowly developed, and that already in the 90s we were doing 4 collections. We were doing spring, summer, autumn, winter, and in 2010 it was 12 collections. Now we see that actually in 2020 and starting up these new 2021, we have around 25 collections per year. We have brands dropping 2 collections a month in order to secure that the shops are also looking new and fresh and trying to take over more turnover from end consumers as well. So we can also see that this demand for speed is definitely going up. We have to be faster. We should deliver 2 collections per month for some of these big retailers. And the other way around, when looking at how long we have to develop these collections, we can also see that when we had the time in the 1980s, we had around 180 days to develop a collection and get it shipped out to a client. And moving on up until 2020, we actually have more or less no time at all to deliver the collections in the shops. So we need to look at how we can be more fast, and we need to look at how we can also save the cost in order to stay competitive in the market. And just as an example, orders that we have, they come in on Monday afternoon and are from some of the clients are able to be shipped Friday night, and then they will be available in the stores the following Tuesday. These are some of the examples from Boston Consulting Group, where they have looked at some of the biggest retailers and how fast they really are. So if you want to keep up, if you want to secure your shops and it's also looking new and fresh, we have to look at the speed. So we're looking at a paradox here. The fashion industry is faced with a paradox where on one hand, all the prices are going up when it comes to labor and when it comes to material. And at the same time, the retail prices is actually decreasing. The end consumers are demanding cheaper products and they also demand it faster. So in order to keep up, we need to find smarter solutions, because we can't really continue as the status quo. And this is also why with virtual sampling, it's just, I'll say this a few times over my presentation, but it's not just a nice tool, it's actually a need to tool. And you can do a lot of things on virtual samples when it comes to animations, when it comes to pictures looking good and so. But what it really comes down to is also what it can do for you as an organization. I'll just quickly also touch base on what is virtual sampling actually, because when I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with virtual sampling, but just to make sure that we are all in the same boat, definition of virtual sample is that we instead of making physical samples, instead of making physical garments, we actually produce it in a virtual world, and then we have the chance to improve the speed in the collections, and we can save a lot of cost because we don't produce the physical samples, we only produce them virtually. Now, the benefits of virtual sampling is that we can shorten the lead time to market. We can save all the transportation from couriers. Normally it takes around 3 days to ship parcels from Asia to countries in Europe. And this valuable time is actually being reduced to zero just by starting up with 3D and working in a virtual environment. At the same time as well, we can make immediate changes, and we can be much more specific in our request coming from a brand perspective. And I think all in all, it just gives us the speed that we need. There's also a point in regards to the adoption rate, because from my experience working with a brand, we really received a lot of samples. I believe Bestseller received around 6.5 million samples a year, and no company has the resources to look in at all these samples. So it's better just to look at how can we increase the adoption rate, how can we actually make sure that what we develop as a supplier is also being received at the buyer's end. And instead of just wasting the samples, sending them and see them being tossed away, then this is where the virtual sampling also comes in handy, because it's very easy to store your styles, store your designs online, and have them ready for later presentation. We talked about also that one of the challenges is the sustainability and environmental part. And with 3D, you also have this unique sample opportunity where to reduce it, not just in the accuracy and so, but also when it comes to sales samples. Now, I know that a lot of brands are doing sales samples, and they need to have the sales samples in order to sell their collections. However, what I believe we will see in the future is also that we might not ask for as many sales samples as we used to. It might be okay just to have a few samples in the full amount, and then have all other color combinations done virtually. So it also becomes easier for salespeople to actually bring their collections out to the clients. Now, another part with 3D where this gives you some unique opportunities is also that the digital content that we can create with 3D it's much nicer than when just taking a simple pack shot of a style. You have the chances to do animations. You have to do chances to do some very, very wonderful things for animations, where you can really make the garments become alive. And what we're also seeing as a tendency, definitely after post-COVID and in the COVID period, we have a tendency to do much more shopping online. We don't have the need to go down to the stores anymore in order to buy garments. All of this we can see online, and we are becoming more trusted in how we see the garments virtually or online. So all in all, with the benefits for virtual sampling, it's actually a quite good solution for how we can actually make sure that we cover the challenges in the current market situation. I also brought in this slide for talking a little bit about not just the benefits from an industry perspective, but also just to bring it down on an operational level and talk about the advantages for the supply chain when working with virtual sampling. Because of course it's nice that we can save the cost of the labor and the materials, but what other advantages do we get from implementing 3D in the supply chain? We can see that there's a bigger need for more accurate and fast communication, especially with clients. When we look at the development process, there's probably 3 steps where we go back and forth on sample part, where we have to do revised samples and send to client, send to brands. We have, and this is actually happening because of the communication. We are not really clear in our communication. It's not just from supplier side, but it's also from brand side. And again, with the 3D software, you have some of these unique opportunities also to make the communication much more accurate. What we see is, of course, the annotations part, which I hope some of you are familiar with, where it's very easy to mark your comments and very easy to mark what it is you want to have revised. Another important point after a pandemic is also that the world has changed. We are working a lot more from home. We can't go to the office as much as we in a 5-day week as we used to do. And that's why we need to have smarter solutions for working together. Back before the pandemic, it was common to meet a few times a week. As a brand, you have a constructor, you have a buyer, you have a designer. All have to sit together in order to make comments for a style and send it to the suppliers. These things we can't really do anymore in the same way as we could back in the days. I'm not saying that this will not turn into some kind of normal situation, but it would also be nice if we can actually manage some of these things from home, just in case as well that we have another pandemic coming, or if we get another outbreak from COVID-19. So working from home is a necessity, and this we have to, again, a solution for this would be to work with virtual sampling. And finally, a lot of time is also spent in following up on samples, following up with sample rooms, making sure the samples gets in on time. And so all of this will also become much more efficient in daily operations when we are working with 3D. Now, it's not all just roses and caviar. There's also some common challenges working with 3D, and I just wanted to touch base on this as well, so you also have an idea of what to be aware about if you want to use 3D inside your organization. If you're on the verge now to decide whether or not it's a good idea or so, I believe that it's important for you to know how the basic challenges of the market. And the first one I've mentioned is finding the right resources. 3D designers are not really a common thing in the market. Now we're seeing that after there's a bigger demand as well from the industry, we have more colleges and more educational programs who actually take ownership in developing 3D designers and developing skills with young talented people, as we just saw from PolyU, who's doing an excellent job in this. But it's still not enough to cover the entire industry, even though we we push out new talent every day. It is a problem and it is a challenge. And one thing is, if you want to take in a new staff member in order to make sure you have the capabilities to do 3D. Another step is also if you want to have it inside your own organization, bringing me to the next topic of implementation. 3D can be very difficult, and especially in an organization that drives in the same mindset and the same workflow as it has always done. Coming in with a software solution, even though it's a smarter choice and the benefits are indiscussible, then it is a challenge, and it's something where people don't really tend to understand it. And when people don't tend to understand something, they also feel that they are a little bit hesitating towards it. So one thing to be very much aware about is the implementation in the organization and how to develop the skills of the 3D designers with your current designers, who's also quite busy with all the running tasks that they have. And I think this is where we see that there is a need as well for something smart that can help to support the industry while we make this transition over and we have more 3D designers available who can support the garment brand as well. The next point I've mentioned as well is building libraries of digital assets. I see a lot of different organizations who actually believe that they can go out and buy a computer, a fancy computer, and then they can buy a 3D software, and then they could start developing 3D styles from day one and share with their clients. It's not really like that, because you also need to consider your digital assets. All the styles, all the garments, fabrics, trims, everything you do today, you have to convert this into becoming a digital format so you can also use it for your 3D designs. And this is something that's quite challenging, and I think it's also why I believe that, as I said in the beginning, the key element for success is actually working with your supply chain, because something like paper patterns and information about fabrics, all of these details is sitting in the hands of the supplier. So it would be very wise to also consider how to work with the suppliers in this, and how to work with them helping you out developing your digital assets, as well as the other way around, where brands can support suppliers in developing digital assets as well, informing them about what kind of qualities they're using, the running qualities, and working with them as well for sharing some of the 3D assets that brands develop for suppliers, so they also have something to get started with. It's a two-way street, but it's an important point to be aware about when starting up with 3D. Last but not least, understanding the technology. This is also a problem I come across quite a lot when working with different clients for Style 3D. It's a completely new technology, and it's a completely new way of thinking, and there's endless opportunities with virtual sampling for what you can develop and how nice you can make it look, and all these different aspects, also the animations part. And so, and coming from the fashion industry, it can sometimes be difficult to understand exactly what is it that makes the 3D part looking real. What is it that brings the what brings the styles into looking, or the animation part as well? What brings the animations to become real, and what is the process behind this? How do we make something that looks as nice as we want it to within this short time of we have available in our hands? And I think this is where also it's important to align with customers and align with brands, with suppliers. What is actually the requested aspect of this? What kind of quality level do you need within 3D at what stage? Because the fashion industry doesn't have that much knowledge about software industry and how software businesses work. Of course, you know, you can develop everything in 3D world, but you need also to have speed in it. So finding the key of how speed compared to quality can be a benefit for you, that's really one of the ways also to have a solution for this challenge. So in order for me just to summarize a little bit about what we've gone through already, we looked at the market situation, and we can see that our labor prices are going up, material prices is going down, but actually it is going up because we are cheating a little bit with the products, making them in less of a good quality in order to comply to the market situation. Now, the challenges here, we actually also touch base on a solution for virtual sampling is not just a nice tool for making nice animations and making something that looks real you can use online. It is actually a neat tool, especially after post COVID-19, where we can't work as much in the offices as we used to. And with Industry 4.0 and coming up for most companies, they are starting to consider how to digitize their workflows and achieve all the advantages to get the faster lead time, to get the cost savings. Also, in order to stay competitive, as I've mentioned a few times now. But even though, as well, we have the benefits for 3D, we have the advantages which is proven and have a proven track record, we still find that there are some challenges for brands and suppliers to accept 3D inside the organization. Now, this is where I would like to come in, also offering a solution for some of these elements, because especially the technology part is where I believe we are seeing a big challenge in actually adapting 3D into the organization. And my take on this is because also that we have software companies developing software for the fashion industry. We've always had that. But in order to really get 3D implemented into an organization, you need to understand what is actually all the daily operations, all the daily procedures within the fashion street that they take care of. And I think we can see as well that in order to get 3D more adapted into an organization, there has to be some sort of way to bring in more people on board, to bring in the entire organization to work with 3D and let them see all the benefits, and not just have a 3D designer sitting developing these stars just as they are as a single cell in organizations. And this is why I actually started working with Style 3D, and it's also why I'm now promoting this as a software solution, because I find that this can actually be a quite good answer to the current market situation, where we see that a lot of the brands and suppliers are actually still having challenges implementing 3D, even though the benefits are there, the advantages are there. So what Style 3D has to offer compared to some of the other players in the market is that it's actually built by garment people who knows the daily challenges, who understands what it is that's going on in the development process with a brand or with a supplier. All these little aspects where you have to be fast, you have to be accurate in your communication. Style 3D is not just a software program, it's actually a comprehensive platform where the idea is also to cover a wider aspect of 3D in order to make it much easier for customers to start up and implement it into the organization. It has to cover more than just a 3D designer sitting working on a computer. It has to cover more people who can work online or work in a network by using 3D. So I mentioned this already, that we cover a wide aspect, but it's actually, just to take you through it, it's actually just all the way from material capturing, scanning fabrics, scanning trims. It's all the way to marketing, where you also, with Style 3D platform, it includes some of the nice features for showcasing and for developing virtual showrooms, which is also a new tendency we see in the market, that the virtual showrooms are actually increasing quite fast in the demand from customers. What I also like about Style 3D is that it's easy to use and therefore easy to implement. There's functionalities which are developed just to make it possible for buyers and designers to do simple product development. And this means that you can actually allow more people to work with 3D on a daily basis than just your 3D designer. At the same time, it's also affordable and accessible, which is again something I find necessary if we want to change the industry, if we want to change transform the entire fashion industry into working with digital samples. It has to be done in a smarter way. We need to make it more affordable for brands to get started, and we need to support them better in order to get started. So we also have a quick response time from Style 3D, and there's also a high level security, which is of course needed when converting into this kind of flow, because all your collections are also online. However, this is something that Style 3D covers quite good. Just to show you a little bit about the software model from Style 3D, where this is where Style 3D, we try to be a little bit different from competitors in order to secure that we can push 3D down into the hands of more people. We have, of course, our software program where we can create and develop all sorts of 3D sketches, virtual samples. Everything can be created in the software program. But what really differentiates us from the other vendors is the cloud solution, because here we also have possibilities for development. We have a trend book function as well in a little bit more about the subject for showcasing. It's the same as the showrooms, and it's also there's also a chance to do animations online. So you're not locked down by having just one person who can sit and control this. It's made in an intuitive way, and it's in a cloud solution. So everyone within your organization can access this and get the benefits from 3D. At the same time, we also have a marketplace where the challenge, I believe we solved the challenge with all the digital assets and how to start up with the digital assets, because we have here a place where you can go and you can find different kind of 3D assets. You can find trims, you can find fabrics, you can find shapes. So you don't have to start from scratch. You can easily locate something where it's something you can work to develop and turn it into your own designs. One thing that's good about Style 3D's marketplace is that it's not locked in any way to just be something that Style 3D provides. It's actually also open towards other vendors, so it's actually more of a sourcing platform where fabric suppliers can upload fabrics themselves, and trim suppliers can upload their trimmings as well. All in all, you have one place where you can go also for sourcing, and you can find all the things you need in order to develop 3D. So I think this is why we differentiate us from the competitors. I just brought in a small video as well that I would like to share about how 3D can transform the workflows from a supplier. This is one of the user cases we have from a supplier who's working with Style 3D software. And I just wanted to show you as well, so you can see with your own eyes, how does this work in the organization. I'm going to talk a little bit about it as well while we see it here. But basically, we have a request coming in from a brand where they're requesting more winter jackets. Now the process for 3D starts, and first task is to, of course, take the task and share it with the relevant people in order for them to get started on the design. So here we add a pattern maker, and we add a designer, and we add also a merchandiser, so they can work together on creating the 3D garments. I said pattern maker, but considering that 3D modeler is also a pattern maker here, he creates the designs. And so here we have the girl setting up a design. Moving on to what used to be the pattern maker, but is now a 3D modeler who arranges the design according to what comes from the design department. He sets it up, he makes it look realistic, adds the fabrics, adds the button in order to and this is the design as well that comes in, where now we have shared the style online. We still haven't met in any physical way. We've just shared the styles online, and we can see that it's possible to go in, click, comment, work on the styles, share the details while different people are not in the same room. Once the design is ready, it's also easy to share with your buyers. It's just one click in the platform, and you can have access to the 3D style as well. And this is a good example also for how to make the comment. Quickly, we receive the comments actually instantly while they're being uploaded. It gives us more, instead of waiting 3 days for a sample, it gives us much more time to actually make the adjustments, make it look good in new colors. We can share it again with a click to the buyers, and they can see it immediately on their screen. So you also see here that it's actually a quite good success. The buyers are accepting the style, and all it's done without actually meeting in person. That's more or less all from my side. So to conclude, I think we have some challenges in the market which we need to touch base upon, and we need to change our mindset, our working habits, if we want to succeed in being competitive. At the same time, we have 3D as the solution for the challenges, but we are still facing some problems with the implementation phase for this. And I believe that we have Style 3D as a good solution to actually fixing these challenges and making it easier to implement 3D inside your organization. So I just wanted to leave as well my contact information, also my colleague Bobby's contact information, who helped arrange this presentation. We are available in case that you find that it could be interesting to look at Style 3D as a solution. We also have a website you can visit in order to find more information about our product. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for giving me a time to present my ideas and my thoughts on how we can transform the supply chains with virtual sampling. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Smed. So here comes our final presentation today, advantages of ODM using Style 3D platform. And we now invite the Director of Kimhaie Trading Company Limited, Mr. Ben Zhou, to present the topic. Mr. Zhou, please.
Yeah. So start again. So my company is founded in the 2002. The location in Hangzhou. And at the moment, the head office around the 150 employees. And in the Cambodia, we have the factory, there 2 factory, it's around 2,200 workers. And also 650 workers around in the Bangladesh, the factory. And the 1,000 workers in the Africa factory location in the Rwanda. And some sales office in the Netherlands, UK, Spain, USA, and Australia. So I'm the typical one of textile export in China. So as you see, so we are moved almost all the production chain to the Asia, even to the Africa, because of the cost problem. And this kind of way actually is quite difficult. For next 5 to 10 years, we don't know where we can move. That's I think about several years before I think about something about another way. So how about the 3D? How about using the 3D sample to instead of the real sample? Yes. Where's the solution to reduce the cost? To instead of just move the factory. So I think about something else. Yeah. Of course, here is still, some factory. Yes, one of the factory in my Cambodia. So now the Cambodia also is the labor cost is quite high. Yeah. So, so several years, actually it's 4 years before I think about this digital way about to using the 3D sample and to instead of the resample. So this is come from one reason is we call it the digital twins. The digital twins is in the physical you have one real sample, but in the virtual you make up one, you make another 3D sample exactly same as the physical world, and we are using the 3D sample to do the communication, try to save the cost. For the real sample, is making cost high cost. And how we are started that? I found first of all, we need to put all the data online. If the data is not online, it's quite difficult. So my first step, actually, I try to put all the data online and using the cloud solution. Yeah. So here I can show some production. 3D production, which for the past where we made it. Yeah. So you saw this is some of the production for the 3D garment, which we have made in our designer center. Yeah, you see it looks is quite real already. So here is this production is for Zara. Yeah. Here is we are do some hoodie and the snow top. Yeah. Even for these paddy jackets, we can a lot of packaging. It looks like the real sample. Actually, this is the 3D samples. Yeah. Here is this kind of padding jackets. Yeah. Looks is quite. If I put this photo, go to the website for the selling, it looks also could be quite successful. Yeah. So here is the example. So the right side is the real physical samples, and the left side is the one we are made for the 3D samples. Yeah. And we try using this sample to do the communication. So actually, how did our company start the digital transformation? So as I already said, our first step is to do offline to the online. We are trying to put all the data go to the online. That has the solution. We can do the communication online. Yeah. So for the time being, for the past several years, where do 3 parts of the digital. Is the one is fabric digital. It's the fabric library. Second is our designers, digital designer center to set up. And the third, we try to do the digital sample room. The sample room to do the online sample room to do the outside the communication. So this is totally 3 parts. Let me to introduce one by one. Yeah. So first about we'll talk about the fabric. Yeah. The fabric at the moment for the past times, we are using the fabric to do the communication is one fabric and put the sticker. And at the moment, how we are do the next step? The next step is still we need one physical fabric, but we don't put this stick anymore. We are using this QR code. Yeah. The QR code actually is the digital fabric, a mirror from, it's the VR fabric. Even we have a lot of the online information. When you are using your mobile phone to scan the QR code, and you can see the different version and the same version of the digital fabric. So at the moment we are using this kind of way, fabric swatch plus the QR code as the basics in internally communication. So offline, you are touch the fabric, and online scan the QR code, online to do the communication. So this is at the moment we are done already. For example, here is our the fabric center. Yeah, we have the huge fabric. Yeah, and at the same times we also do the online, the digital fabric showroom. They are exactly matching. Yeah, so we are put this kind of way to push our customers when they are start to select the fabric, they can go to the online to do the decision. Yeah. We are using the Linctex, the Star 3D, the one app, the cell phone to do all this kind of communication. Yeah. So when the customers visit our here as a virtual, our here as a physical, as a fabric center, we're always to ask them to scan the QR code to select the fabric, request the sample request the sample yardage using this app. And why we are doing like that? Because we can easily get the figures, which fabric selling well, which clients select which kind of fabric, and how many fabrics. After several months, the data is so useful. We can check, yeah, we can use another way to find the solution, where is the best solution. Yeah. So this is about first topic about the fabric digital. Second, we are do the digital designer center. The 3D, how we made the 3D garment? Yes, a lot of people say the 3D modeling, yeah, make it. Actually, it's not. In our company, we are do this. We are do one teams, one systems. Yeah, one good 3D garment is not only made from one single 3D modeler. It's several people. They are going to one teams. They are made together. I can give you some explanation. Yeah. So when we have received some requirement from the outside, yeah, from the buyer, yeah, to get some requirement for development, our merchandise and the designers, they are start to set up as a teams, as I think, as the Frederik to show the videos, yeah, were set up as a teams. Then inside the pattern makers, they are take care of the pattern, and the modeling take care of the 3D modeling, and also the fabric assistant to take care of the fabric digital, and finally the designer to check and to make the 3D garment as one garment could be sold. So this several people, they are working together, then we'll get one good the 3D garment, as I showed previously. Yeah. And this kind of digital designer center, they are daily do a lot of online content. Yeah. This online content could be do the very easily communication. So they daily they do a lot of online trendy book or moonboard. Yes, do a lot of the photo rendering photo from the systems. Yeah. Also can be for the one click for the video, for the animation, and some VR showroom, and some 3D garment link can be to the communication everywhere. Even we are do the some good sample, good designer center, let the customer to make the design. Yeah. So because of this way, because of we are using this on a digital way to design one sample. So the circle is here, the beneficiary is here, only need 1 or 2 days. At the moment for our company, maybe we only made one 3D sample, so we just need several hours because we already have a huge data in the history. Our designer just put the older style and just revised. Yeah, so even much more quickly. And for the traditional way, make one sampling with one real sample, do all the things. Is start the sketch and to sourcing the fabric, make the pattern and make one real sample and send to the customs. This could be for the 2 or 3 weeks. So this is the beneficiary what we are doing. Yeah. So because of we are using this digital design center, and they are daily do the 3D design, they are daily do the trendy book, and they are daily do internal cooperation and external cooperation, and set up as an online showroom, online supply chain manufacturing management. So we got a lot of the beneficiary. After 2 years, we found we saved the labor cost is around 30%. And because we are not necessarily do so many real samples, so we're lower a lot of the material cost. So it's almost like the 60%. About this 3D sampling, the lead times, as I already told you, this is we can account by hours. Yeah, maybe it's several hours, and maximally is 2 days. We can finish the one 3D sample. But if we are doing one real sample in my business, like this kind of brazier business, yeah, we need 1 or 2 weeks, and send to customer need much more times. And because of we are doing so many online cooperation communication, so the efficiency is quite good. Actually, my real sample room, I reduced quite a lot, yeah, about this kind of things, and but the efficiency will still increase is quite big, yeah. In the end, because I using this kind of the 3D sampling, so it's much more easy let the customer to select. Yeah, this rate will do even much more better is than the normal way. Yeah. So the beneficiary of the digital design center, so we can say just save money and save the time. This is exactly what we are looking for. At the moment, we can do a little bit more. So we set up one design center for Zara. It's our design center, but we are invite the Zara design to go to our design center to design their own styling. We just to prepare for them for all the digital material, digital accessory, and let the Zara designer to try to design their own production. And in the same time, in our Cambodia factory already to prepare the Zara pattern, the Zara measurement, Zara tech pack. So we are even for the bone sketch, everything. And also for some material. When in the Spain, the Zara designers, they are fixed one design. And within 24 hours, our Cambodia factory, they can start to make the action. So this is where do the testing for the future. Yeah, how we make much more, actually much more quickly way, yeah, in the garment industry. So now you are see, everybody see here one QR code. If you are using your mobile phone to scan the QR, just using the mobile phone, the photo, the scan code, the QR code. And this design center, this blazer design center also can go to your mobile phone and you can try to design the blazer by yourself. Yeah. So I take a little bit of seconds. Yeah, if somebody interesting, you can make the photo for that. Yeah. And also easily, if you have the WeChat, you also can easily to scan this QR code. Yeah. So this is the second part about our company, about the digital designer center. The third part is we are doing is the digital sample room. Yeah, the real sample room, and especially now for the Corona case, is the customs, the visiting become to the problem. So we are successfully to the digital online sample room. Yeah. Build up one online digital sample room. It's like that. This is the VR sample, the VR showroom. Yeah, here. And because of this VR showroom it's just one link, so can very easily to do the communication from with the outside. We just send the link to the customs. The customs, they are open the link and they are just visit our real sample room. Yeah, and they are started to select the sample, started the communication. And also we are using this way, try to touch the new clients, which is still not on board. We are using this way to show the VR showroom in the Facebook, in the Google. Yeah, it's quite successful. Yeah, to looking for the new clients. So if somebody is interested, you also can, yeah, using your mobile phone to scan it. And this VR showroom also can go to your mobile phone. You can do a little bit enjoy to, yeah. Actually, we still have our physical showroom, but our physical showroom also upgrade. All the physical showroom, all the garment, we have the hand tag with the QR code. This is the window where go to the 3D world. So when the customs now they are knock the door, go to our physical showroom, we ask them to using their own mobile phone to select the sample. Yeah, we are also push them to go to the online, using the online way to make all the decision. And this is also upgrade and to high the efficiency. Yeah, and in the end, we get all the data say, okay, if I have so many showrooms in the New York, yeah, in the France, in the UK, in my overseas sales point, all this showroom, actually the physical showroom and with the digital showroom, they are matching together. So what the customer go to the overseas showroom, what they are select something, they do something because all the data is already pushed to the online. So in the head office, immediately know which customer coming, which sample they are select, and what kind of requirement they have. Yeah. So I believe for the future, this virtual 3D clothing also can be affected to the offline retailer industry. This page actually is not happened now. It could be happened for the future in the offline retailer. Yeah, I believe when you go to for the future, you are go to the store. Maybe you scan, you're using a mobile phone to scan the price tag and to select all the garment which you are like. Yeah. So this is the first step. Yeah. And second, online fitting also become possible. And even for the offline, the shopping mall, the price tag possibly will be disappeared. Different retailer price, different customs, they can get the different price. If you are the VIP, you already get the discount when you are scan the QR code on the garment. Yeah. Even they will show different price. If you ask for immediately to get the garment, maybe they don't give you any discount. If you say, okay, I'm okay for the 7 days for the delivery. So maybe they can give you the 10% discount or 20% discount because at the moment the garment is not in the store, maybe still in the warehouse, in somewhere. Yeah. If you accept to say, okay, 30 days, I can accept this garment. And maybe they can give you the big discount because that production is still not produced, still in my Cambodia factory. Yeah. So the stores and the cash refund or all this one, maybe they can reduce, even disappear. Even the fitting room even can be disappeared, yeah, or reduced. So this is, I think, because of the 3D, go to the industry could be happened for the future in the retailer industry, in the retailer world. Yeah. So I do the conclusion. Because of the 3D came to the fashion industry chain, the whole systems now step by step is shifting from the production before sales to production after sales, or production wiring sales, or where make the production, selling in where. So I quite believe this could be happened very soon, and it already happened somewhere. Yeah. So this, I think, is all for my today to share my company for the digital solution. So if somebody interesting, also can send me the email, and yeah, also can to scan my WeChat, the QR code. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zhou. So now comes the Q&A session. If you've got any questions, please send your question to the chat box.
Okay.
Any questions? So we've got a question for Mr. Smed. The 3D technology saves the cost in design and manufacturing process, and it also reduces the R&D development time. But with this speed up, doesn't it mean that the fast fashion brands got even more time to produce more with this tech support? So, Mr. Smed?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for the question. I think we will definitely see as well a change in the industry that, of course, we still have to, fast fashion will still be there. Seasonal trends will become more and more, also to diversify how garments looks on the street. So I think it's something that will definitely help as well in order for the speed to continue in the market.
Okay, so we've got another question to Mr. Zhou. Okay, pardon me, asking if customers have got a nominated fabric, can their software scan the fabric?
Okay, so about the fabric digital, we are at the moment we are using the Linctex Style 3D solution. So we are just using normally the office scanner to scan the fabric, but using the Linctex Style Fabric One software to do the digital solution. Yeah.
Okay, and we've got another question. Can the Style 3D files be opened in other software like the Browseware or the Co-3D?
Yeah, I can help to answer this one. From Style 3D's perspective, the reason why I also enjoy working and representing Style 3D is that the approach towards the industry is very, very open. We from Style 3D try to look at the perspective as it's not just about us taking over the market entirely, but actually working together with other 3D software vendors as well in order to make simpler solutions for the customers, the brands and the suppliers. And therefore, to answer the questions, yes, we can work with the OBJ files as well in our platform, making it easy to upload to our cloud and benefit from these solutions we have within here. So yes, it's definitely doable to work with files from other 3D software vendors.
Hi everyone, my name is Bobby. It's a Frederik, the teammate in Hong Kong. I organize all this the webinar. If there is no any question, or if you have any questions, please feel free to send an email to Dr. Tracy Mock, Frederik, me, or Ben. We will be happy to answer or share our experience for all of you. Thank you for joining the webinar today.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.